Hey everybody, let's see how many tips we can give this Master Kiriko in 19 minutes. Alright, out of here. Okay. Ball. Lucio. At 9 a.m.? No, I don't think so. Oh, no need to suzu the venom mine, by the way. You can just like teleport away from it if you're afraid of it. You can just TP to cleanse it. I feel like suzu is a pretty big investment over there. Right? Okay, this is pretty okay. Doing some damage, trying to take the left side. Nice spam. Oh, careful. Like, I know that you want to ignore ball as much as you can, but you can still like do what I call the kirhythm, right? As in, like, you go for 2 or 3 kunai, and then you heal up your teammates. So what I would say is, whenever you go for like these spam shots without even seeing your teammates, after every 2 or 3 kunai, try to look around to see if your teammates are going to take damage, like based on where the enemies are, or they're going to or they're safe so you can like keep on damaging. Love the fact that you're following on ball. There's no need right now to explain like what's happening in the back over there. Nice kill. Now you just gotta play your life. You're in a 2 versus 4 situation, playing nice and chill. So just gonna go for you. Careful about ball. Okay, looking good. Mercy's there. Can you stop the res? One thing that I wanna highlight though is the fact that I feel like you have to increase the sound effect volume in game. Maybe I could barely hear Mercy Valk over there. Like, you had the right intention, right? You could have carried this entire point by killing the Mercy that went for the res solo deck. You could have killed her by waiting and hearing if she's going to shift to you or not, or by just listening to her heals over there. Right now, I did not hear that, right? If you would have done that, obviously you would have just won the point afterwards. Your team would have regrouped. You would have been in a good situation. So maybe try to get rid of this elimination sound, as it might clutter what you're hearing. And secondly, just try to pay a little bit more attention to like sound cues in the game. A lot of players focus on like what's happening in front of them and not what's happening in the back. Over there, one thing is you heard them talk and stuff. If you hear like your teammates talking a lot about let's just do this with this team comp, let's just swap, let's do whatever, you don't always have to like walk in front. One thing that I'm noticing in Masters and also in GM5, if we get like some GM5 players in high lobbies, is that they always want to press W. If you watch like professional games or like GM1 games, you're gonna see that we have like some moments in which you just stay still around the wall and wait for everybody to regroup. Good Fox usage, love it. You cannot stop the rest. Can always like, of course, looking at this, I'm not gonna try and micromanage everything that you do. You could always like do more damage when your teammates are full HP, right? Careful about a Roadhog hook right now. Get ready to Suzu. Sojourn, you slide. Get ready to pocket the Sojourn. Where Sojourn is, that's who you're looking for. Whenever your DPSs or like your tank like use their ultimates, be ready to follow up on them. You're not like responsible of like healing the one that is probably just gonna stay there. If your Sojourn wants to go in and wants to do damage and wants to pressure, it's better to just invest resources into that hero, because over there you on the side with Sojourn might have opened the point again faster when she slided, because you were staying with Sigma that was full HP. He couldn't push anyway, so you staying with Sojourn there would have helped her, give her like a sense of security for having extra support and actually going for more aggressive plays and securing the kills. Get a kill, don't be greedy. Can't even TP out. That is very risky staying in front of the Widowmaker. You're fine so far. Okay, doing some damage. 3 kunai, then look. Perfect. That was 4 kunai. Sufficient. Okay, predicting that. Love it. Love how you're playing. But like over there, when you're doing some damage, right, in that team fight, you are the one that the enemies want to focus you the most. If you're the flex support, usually are the one that can pump in the most amount of support healing from time to time. So if they cut the sustain from your team, the primary form of sustain, the only counterplay that they have is to play fast. Your teammates have to play fast. This being in Masters 5, it's not gonna happen. So like, for example, Kiri plus Lucio, Kiri dies, then your team has to play fast, because otherwise they're just gonna lose the sustain war in that case. So play your life a little bit more in 3 versus 3 scenarios. You're not supposed to be able to like clutch kills and stuff if you have like a DPS and a tank alive. You are playing your life. Envision like you're playing Mercy and you're trying to stay alive as much as you can in even situations. If you're down 1, that's when you're gonna go for like more risky plays and like stop caring about your teammates and stuff. But just playing your life and healing your teammates was sufficient over there. Again, same thing. We do 5, 6, 7 kunai. Good. Okay, I mean, you get a kill. You can still invest here. even if he's low, this trade is worth it. You have close exponent, it is worth it. You break the mine. You're buying so much time right now, by the way. This is awesome. I love how you're playing this. You're single-handedly winning the team fight. A little bit greedy towards the guardian. I mean, he got one shot by Widowmaker. It happens. It's 4 versus 4 outfox right now. And in certain moments, and in certain team fights, especially when like you're in equal numbers, investing ultimates in ranked at least, it's super good to just seal the deal, you know? To just secure the deal. Can't quite punish the Gester, no problem. Think about who the carry is. Sojourn's blue, Sojourn's the carry. So play with your Sojourn. Again, team fight is uncertain. This is another window in which you could fox. Even if you do not use the fox all the time, it will open up at least pushing the enemies away, at least you pushing the payload a little bit, at least you getting your cooldowns available a little bit faster, if you're not securing the kills and stuff. So this is another situation. We had like 2 key moments in which, after you played amazing inside that room, in which you could have invested your ultimate to secure less team fights. I feel like sometimes you're having issues pulling the trigger, I would say, right? Like sometimes you're like all in, and right now it's more, this is very standard Masters gameplay, I would say. You're all in, and then it's very hard to like adapt when the plan is not working. Right here, this is another example in which if you felt like you wouldn't be able to land the kills on Widow, you'd have Fox. This is okay, doesn't matter. 20 seconds, it's 5 versus 3. With more experience, you're gonna see that it might have, it would have not been needed in a 5 versus 3. I would have still suggested to do ult in that situation just to secure the kill, because who knows, it might happen 5 versus...
I'm pushing it. No, push it, push it.
It might be 5 versus 4 afterwards if they get a kill when they regroup, so better safe than sorry. You don't have ultimate over here at the end, no problem. The problem is though that I agree with the call to push it, but thing is, if you're all pushing and staying here when the payload is about to be capped, they can attack you from every single angle possible. You only need 3 people onto the payload to maximum push it. In this case, you can even like leave 1 on payload and try to do as much damage as possible. 3 on, okay, fine, understand best in that situation, but if you see that literally everybody's on the payload, just get away from there and try to force something. Love how you're playing. This is how I wanted you to play in the first point cap. When you cap the...
Not even close.
When you cap the point, play your life, right? You literally played your life. You did not invest a lot of damage to the enemies. You just healed up your teammates. Try to stay alive as much as you can. Their supports died fast. You won the long fight. You played it really nice. Love this. Love this. So much pressure. Thinking where you should be following up. Careful. If you're looking like only in front of stuff, something's happening in the back. You have the advantage already. You won the team fight. You're 5 versus 4. You're pushing for free. Good. You pay attention towards the end onto like your Hanzo. Again, this is fine. You can split a little bit to the left side. If this would be a tough fight for the Kiriko, they'd probably push left side or hard commit onto the right side and not necessarily stay with the team grouped up on payload. You probably 10% to your ultimate, and that's what you want to do. A cool trick though, playing against the team comp specifically, you don't have a lot of stuff to suzu from the Bastion. You don't have a lot of stuff to suzu from the Widowmaker. You can suzu the nade and sleep dart, but if ball goes in so aggressively, try and save your suzu for the ball slam over there, because he's not gonna expect the suzu. It's a lot of damage. I think point blank it's 100 damage. And Hanzo would have flipped, who knows? You might have gotten the kill onto the Widowmaker. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. 18 seconds to go. I want you to spam a little bit more. This is one thing that I'm not seeing from you, Masters. You're starting the fight when the fight starts. In top 500, the fight starts before the fight starts. I know that doesn't make any sense, but extra bullets being thrown in, extra walking to the left and forcing a team fight before the fight begins is super important. I don't want you to overlap support ultimates right now. We overlap support ultimates. You have advantage with the beat. A lot of players, a lot of the time,
Always one.
in last second in overtime team fights, ultimates are being tracked a lot. Like they have like a lot of ultimates, and if you overlap 2 ults, then what you're doing is you're forcing your team to play super fast with those ultimates, right? Like you use beat, you use Fox, guys go in. That was the right decision, right? To guys go in. If you would communicate with your team, go, 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 because I hear that sometimes you're telling your team to go to stay on payload and stuff. If you ult, you can just say go, 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 right? Go, go, go in, whatever. I would have suggested though, maybe wait for the beat a little bit, see if something happens, then ult. Love the peeling. Don't be greedy now, don't be greedy. You gotta play the life. You hear the high noon, maybe you can just turn around the wall and suzu your Cassidy deck. You suzu onto the payload, you have to walk in and try to secure a kill onto a squishy. Try to as much damage as you can to the Widowmaker. Play your life now. Play your life, push the point. Perfect. Honestly, looking pretty good. What rating is this? This is Masters 4. Oh, bro, I can get to GM4 to GM5 easy. I'm not kidding. You can get to GM5 very easy.
Man, I was already sending heals your way, man. It's just that their heals or their damage lands quicker than my heals.
True. Why? Wait. What happened? Was one of the? I think one of the DPSs in the title
I
told
just
to
think
get
it's a little bit racist, but it's okay.
coaching by annoyed enemy widow.
I don't mean to be racist, but it's just like, wait, I'm also Asian. We're fucking family, man. What are you talking about?
With each step, my burden.
Let's talk about a team comp. I'm confused. Might have been like another discussion on Discord or something. I don't know. Let's talk about a team comp. Baptiste is gonna stay with Sigma. You are going to help your Sojourner Hanzo, whichever of the two are going to like off-angle on the side to try to support them, to create one big team with Sigma and Bap, and another team onto the left side, or create 3 different angles of attack in which you can just stay split. Let's see where your team's gonna play. I'd suggest going for some early damage at the beginning, maybe try and climb top left. Or do something like that. I gotta stay in the back. You're giving the enemy... Yeah, this is the main thing that I'm saying in Masters 5. In Masters 4 in this VOD I give you. Giving the enemy space. You gave it on the payload. You're giving it in the last team fight from what I remember. You're kind of giving it now. You're letting the enemies walk in. The higher you climb, the more you're gonna see that for every single space that you want to get, every single centimeter, you're gonna fight for it, right? Like right now, they just walked up until here for free. Somebody coached top left. I think Ash went top left for free. You're just staying on payload right now, on point, and they are being pressured from everywhere. You're overlapping your job with Baptiste in this case. Baptiste excels at keeping teammates that are playing close together alive. And in this case, what you're doing is you're overlapping the strength of that Baptiste has by just helping sustain your team. When you are more playing in this team comp specifically, with a Bap or Ana in your team, because they both do the same thing, you can just go and do a little bit more damage. Okay, I love this, but again, try to stay on high ground top left and do some damage. The reason why I want to do it again is you want to make the enemies, even if they look at you, that's less pressure. That's more pressure to them and less pressure to your team, because they might look at the tank while they're looking at you over there on top, right? Look, there, you invested 2 shots from the Ashe. That, who knows, maybe Sojourn would have died over there. Same principle. Go into the top left, do some damage, then drop her TP out, because right now, see, she's there. Now you have to react to her being there, and now you're not even fighting her there, and then you're gonna stay with your team over onto the right side, and then she's in a really good position over there on high ground for free, uncontested. You know what I mean? So don't give your enemies stuff for free, I guess, is the best thing that we can like summarize out of this VOD. Don't give them stuff for free. By the way, there's a tiny junkyard mine over there. You can always just destroy it. At the same time, honestly, oh look, this is another moment in which I'm gonna get into what I want to say in a second. This is another moment in which I feel like the teamfight is uncertain. I'd recommend ulting left side or right side, so just spamming that ultimate is available. 4 versus 5, I would still ult a little bit later before they walked in. When the teamfight is uncertain, this is a golden rule that I want to tell yourself in the next couple of... Maybe you write a post-it note, right? Maybe you write a post-it note in which you tell yourself, ult if uncertain 1 time per game. So like, you don't know who's winning the fight. That's what I'm trying to say. Are we winning? Are they winning? It's 50-50. I have my ult. Just throw it in. It's better to be proactive rather than reactive in Overwatch, because you can punish mistakes a lot, but if you're not forcing, or if they're not making mistakes, then what can you do? Over there, good damage. I love it, but unfortunately the point is going to be capped. Zoning in a little bit to the Zarya. I don't think you would have been able to touch. The only counter play you could have done in this case, if you're thinking that the fight was going to be winnable, is one of the rules that we talked about at the beginning of the VOD, when your Sojourn was on the side when you're attacking for his point. If one of your DPSs is ulting, your goal is to try to support them as much as possible, because the enemies have to do something to the person that is ulting. Otherwise, they're going to be gold, because they're usually ulting, right? And the ult should get value. So if you're adding extra support to that player that is ulting, you probably end up winning the team fight rather than you doing something else. It's about overlapping your strengths. Your Sojourn is ulting, your soldier is ulting. Oh, that's our strength. We have an ultimate, they're not using ultimate, we should be fine. I love the cheeky flanks that they're doing from time to time. All good. So I wanted to say a little bit earlier, like when you're staying with your team, one thing that is very underrated is simplifying your job. This is something that you're doing when you're staying in the back and like just killing your team and you're winning the team fight. But sometimes with knowing these two concepts that I'm gonna stress on as much as I can, 3 concepts actually, because this is another one that we gotta cover. Okay, great job, great job, great job. We're gonna secure the kills. Awesome. After 3 kunai, number 1, after 3 or 4 kunai, when you invest duels into duels and you want to try to turn the team fight around, even if you keep on investing the kunai damage and even if you want to go for kills, try to look around you. This is one thing that I'm not seeing you do almost at all. You do not know what's happening in the back. I don't know if you're reacting to audio cues based on echolocation kappa, or like what are you hearing in the background without seeing. But even turning around sometimes, maybe when you're reloading or maybe when you're pressing tab to see at least how the setup is gonna help you a lot. Number 4 of them actually. Number 2, try to listen to sound cues a little bit more to react to them. Number 3, if the fights are uncertain, try to ult, right? And number 4, do not give enemies stuff for free. What you're doing right now is what you should have been doing on the first point. You're staying on high ground, even if you're landing the kunai, even if not, like, see what's happening. You're going behind them, makes life weaver have to pull Ana. Ana has to invest nade. You're continuing doing damage. It's like, once you understand that you can do this exact same playstyle on every single map with every single hero in different ways, you're gonna climb to GM1 actually in no time. In Masters and GM, I would say the difference is primarily the amount of things that you're letting the enemies do, right? What you're doing here is you're not giving Widowmaker any space whatsoever. Your Ana can just keep their attention onto your teammates, right? I don't know if you're doing this actively, knowing that your Ana can take care of your teammates. You're tilting the enemy Widowmaker. You're doing your job. This is how you want to play Kiriko in this. You're kind of like an assassin. Kind of like a mini DPS, I would say. Your team doesn't need you into this, right? Again, look, this is another moment in which we're standing still instead of going and trying to do more damage. You can go on high ground and spam. You can go left side and spam over there, as long as you're playing in your TP range. So like imagine that this Q button is you and the TP range is over here, right? And imagine a circle. You can play anywhere you want if you can actually get back to one of your teammates. This is why I recommend when you're going for duels to look around and see how much you can commit. You're a very confident player, right? Very confident player. But sometimes you need to pull the trigger a little bit more. Sometimes, like, obviously you can see like some doubts here and there. It's mostly experience. But you will climb. This is not GM4. This is not Master's 4th player. This might be just one of your best games, right? This might happen once in 50 games. There's also this, right? You might just feel like super confident in your abilities.
Done playing around.
Sigma, present.
We are Fox right now. What I'm thinking about in 1 minute 15 with their team comp is I feel like we have the advantage if we stay together. We stay together with the team, don't complicate it. These are 2 team fights. You can invest your Fox early if you want to talk a little bit about macro. You can invest... I'm ignoring chat, by the way. You can invest Fox early to make it 2 fights. In case you lose this fight, you're going to have another fight in which your Sojin and Nana are going to have Nano Boost Sojin ultimate, or your Sigma's going to have his Flux, which I do recommend doing because, again, the team fight is uncertain. Who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Otherwise, you're just making this one fight and you're getting up to 5 ultimates versus 5 ultimates. In GM, people always want to take fights when they have the advantage. This is one team fight. This is a moment of hesitation in which you could have pulled the trigger again, as I was saying, right? This is just one team fight and you're just letting everybody build up ultimates. Luckily, Ana lands a big nade there and Kiriko's not ready to suzu. They use 2 ultimates, you turn it around. Pretty good. What I want to say with this approach is you're making it 50-50 rather than you invest in ultimate. You might win the fight, might not win the fight, but who knows, maybe they turn around with their ultimates. Maybe what happens if you win the team fight and then your team is gonna have 4 ultimates and they're gonna have 5 ultimates. Fine, we're all gonna use our ults, but then you're gonna have one more fight when the pillar is gonna be capped. No, overall, this is good Kiriko gameplay, bro. Keep it up. So again, don't give them space for free. Try to fight for every single space, every single moment possible. Number 2, try to listen to sound effects a little bit more. Number 3, if one of your DPSs or tank is ulting, try to enable them more rather than enabling yourself. And number 4, try to play this is a circle where you can TP to. Look around after a couple of kunai to make sure that you have an escape. And other than that, keep it up. You're gonna get to GM in no time.